Welcome to Divination with your host, Louisa Brown. Get deep into divination and learn the true old ways. From crystal balls to tarot and much more, only on Divination.
Hi, how is everybody this evening? Hope you're all well. Leave my pup alone. Sorry, he's just jumped up next to me. Yeah, so let me know who's on. Pop your name in the comments. Let me know what you've been up to. Ben is here.
Hi guys.
Just outside. I won't turn it on to him. He's tired from work. Yeah, he wasn't actually supposed to be back yet. He's supposed to come back tomorrow, but he surprised me by coming home today, so that's nice. Thank you. So yeah. Oh, hi Dave. Hi Wandering Willow. So yeah. What are we doing tonight? Tonight there will be no demonstration because it's just so complicated, and yeah, it's one of these processes that it does take time to learn, and it does take time to actually complete. So yeah, what I will be doing now is the end of the show as well. I will be popping a link onto the page of someone on YouTube I found who does a brilliant demonstration for you. So when I've read about it and got you all confused, then you can go onto that and watch it, and it'll kind of make a bit more sense. But again, you kind of like need the main big book for it, which obviously I haven't got. But yeah, it's just something interesting to look into. You're telling me I've had a deck for 8 years and I still don't understand it. What's your deck? Let me know. I like to hear about people's decks. That's interesting. This that we're talking about today is the I Ching. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Jeanette. So let me just put my drink a little bit closer to me because there's lots of words. Bear with. So yeah, as usual, got my notes that I've made, got a couple of picture printouts for you, and like I say, I'll put up a YouTube video if someone actually knows what we're talking about at the end for you to watch. Is it an I Ching tarot deck? No, it's we're looking at the actual I Ching form of divination, claromancy. So I will begin. So I Ching divination is a form of claromancy. Those of you who watched the last divination show I did quite a few weeks ago now, similar to like when we're using the dice, it's to do with casting of lots. The text of the I Ching, which translates to the Book of Changes, consists of 64 hexagrams, 6-line figures of yin and yang lines, and commentaries on them. There are 2 main methods of building up lines of the hexagram, using either 50 yarrow sticks or 3 coins. Some of the lines may be designated old lines, in which case the lines are subsequently changed to create a second hexagram. The text relating to the hexagrams and old lines, if any, is studied, and the meanings derived from the study of the text can be interpreted as the oracle. So I'm going to talk about the all the hexagrams. Here we've got a little printout of the 64 hexagrams. So from my understanding is, if you're using your arrow sticks or if you're using your coins, you cast them how they kind of, I'll explain it a bit better in a bit, but how you get left with a certain number of the sticks relates to being yin or yang and old yin or young yin, young yang, old yang. And they basically, each line on these represents each sort of casting of lots. So you see there's quite a few different combinations that you can have there. There's 64 there. Like I say, you then use them, those ones that you've created from your casting, to then go to the book, your I Ching book, and to get your reading. Clear? Yeah. This is why there's no live demonstration. Jeanette says, oh, got to remember I can click on the comments. Jeanette says it's gone over her head already. Yeah. It is technical. I think it's one of those things that when you see it done, it makes more sense than reading about it, which is why I'm going to put the video up on our page, because you can watch it and you'll be like, ah, I understand. It makes sense now. So we'll carry on. We'll get a bit more confused. Because there's so many different ways of doing it as well. So I'll just go over it and we'll see. Oh, there's Ben. We see you, Ben. So, yeah. Oh, my voice went weird. Each hexagram is 6 lines written sequentially, one above the other. Each of the lines represents a state that is either yin, which is dark, feminine, represented by a broken line, or yang, which is light, masculine, and a solid line. And either old, which is moving or changing, represented by an X written in the middle of a yin line, or a circle written on the middle of a yang line, or young for static, unchanging. The usual methods of consulting the I Ching as an oracle produce a sacred or ritual number for each type of line. 6 for an old yin line, 7 for a young yang, 8 young yin, or 9 old yang. Yeah. The 6 lines are produced in order using the chosen method, beginning at the first or the lowest one and proceeding upwards to the 6th, the uppermost line, each with its corresponding number. Now, you'll notice, I'll show you on these, where I talked about, you can see where obviously clearly it's got the broken lines and the solid lines, but on this chart, when you to be in like this chart, you don't have your circles and your X's. But if you go and look online at things and read through how they do it, when I put the YouTube video up and she shows you how she does it, you'll get a screenshot and it will show you like the circles and the X's, so you know where you're going for your your changing or your static, basically. Right, keep going. Then the commentaries applied to the general hexagram are studied. If the hexagram contains no old lines at all, that concludes the consultation. But if there are one or more old lines, the separate commentary for each such line is also studied. Then the lines are appropriately changed, any old yin lines into young yang lines, and any old yang lines into young yin lines, which, with the young lines in the original hexagram remaining the same, results in a second different hexagram. Yeah, and then you consult the book. The method used by the diviner to generate the hexagram depends on their circumstances and beliefs. The arrow stalk method is usually employed by traditionalists who find significance in its complexity and in the resulting time needed to manipulate stalks to produce a hexagram. Coin methods and others are used either by those short of time or by fortune tellers who need a quick reading. There are also methods to generate a hexagram by interpreting the time, direction, person, etc. Instead of throwing coins or dividing and counting yarrow stalks, several of the methods described below force exactly one or no moving lines. The traditional yarrow stalk method allows from 0 to 6 moving lines. The yarrow stalk method favors static lines over moving lines in the ratio 3 to 1. Okay. So now we'll talk about the yarrow stalks. So, get a drink. Okay, yarrow stalks. The stalks that are used are ones which have been cut and prepared for such purpose, but you can use any form of wooden rod or sticks, which can be plain, lacquered, or varnished. When genuine yarrow is used, varieties local to the diviner are considered the best, as they will contain chi closer to and more in tune with them, or they may come from a particularly spiritual or relevant place, such as on the grounds of a temple. When not in use, they are kept in a cloth or silk bag or wooden box. 50 yarrow stalks are used, though one stalk is set aside at the beginning and takes no further part in the process of consultation. The remaining 49 stalks are roughly sorted into 2 piles, and then for the right-hand pile, one stalk is initially remaindered, then the pile is cast off in lots of 4. The remainders from each half are combined, traditionally placed between the fingers of one hand during the... Do you want this? There's another one up here. Okay. Sorry guys. Yeah, the remainders from each half combined, traditionally placed between the fingers of one hand during the counting process and set aside, with the process then repeated twice, which makes a total of 3 times. The total number of stalks in the remainder pile will necessarily, if the procedure has been followed correctly, be 9 or 5 in the first count, and 8 or 4 in the second, and 8 or 4 in the second. 9 or 8 is assigned to the value of 2, 5 or 4 a value of 3. The total of the 3 passes will be one of just 4 values, which is 6, 7, 8, or 9. That value is the number of first line. The 49 stalks are then gathered and the entire procedure repeated to generate each of the remaining 5 lines of the hexagram. The yarrow stalk method produces unequal probabilities for obtaining each of the 4 totals, compared to the 3-coin method, which I'm going to look at next. The probabilities of the lines produced by the yarrow stalk method are significantly different. Oh, I got Kate. Hi, Kate. And Frieza. Hail. Right, are we following? Like I said, it's harder to imagine what you're doing from reading, or in your case, from listening to what I'm saying. It will make more sense if you see it done, but not by me. So we'll go to coins next. So you've got the 3-coin method. The 3-coin method came into use over 1,000 years after the yarrow stalk method. The quickest, easiest, and most popular method by far, it produces outcomes with different likelihoods. 3 coins are tossed at once. Each coin is given a value of 2 or 3, depending on whether it is heads or tails, respectively. 6 such tosses make the hexagram. So, Ben, stop laughing. Some fortune tellers use an empty tortoise shell to shake the coins before throwing them on a dish or plate. So there's then variations on the coin methods. So you've got a modified version of the 3-coin method. This is where The three-coin method can be modified to have the same probabilities as the yarrow stalk method by having one of the coins be of a second coin type, or in some way be marked as a special and distinguishable from other coins. All three coins are tossed at once. The results are counted just as in the original three-coin method, with two exceptions: one to make yin less likely to move, and one to make yang more likely to move. The probability for 6, 8, 9, 7 in the coin method is 2, 6, 2, 6, but in the arrow stalk method is 1, 7, 3, 5. Hence 6 has to occur less often and 9 has to occur more often. Yeah. Oh, mine are oracle cards with I Ching coins. It's confusing. I can't tell you either. Yeah. It does seem really confusing. It's really interesting, fascinating. It's just like, how do people remember what they're doing, remember all this? But yeah, I'd like to think the oracle cards are a bit kinder. Oh, Phil says good evening. Good evening. Right. So, in the case where the special coin is tails and the other two are both tails, so all three are tails, which would normally produce a 6, reflip the marked coin. If it remains tails, then treat it as 6, moving yin. Otherwise, it remains an 8, static yin. As a 6 can become a 6 or an 8, it reduces the probability of the moving 6. In other words, it makes the old yin less likely to change or move. In the case where the special coin is heads and the two others are tails, which would normally produce a 7, reflip the marked coin. If it remains heads, then it remains as a 7, static yang. Otherwise, it becomes a 9, moving yang. As a 7 can become a 7 can become a 7 or a 9, it reduces the probability of the static 7. In other words, it makes the young yang less likely and hence more yangs change as the result. This method retains the 50% chance of yin yang, but changes the ratio of moving yin and static yin from 1 to 3 to 1 to 7. Likewise, it changes the ratio of moving yang to static yang from 1 to 3 to 3 to 5, which is the same probabilities as the arrow stalk method. Phil says this sounds so complicated. I know. But I keep reading it, and you kind of like, eventually it's like, yeah, okay, right. It's probably better in practice. And in fact, it's probably better in practice because you're actually like doing it. But yeah. So then we've got the two-coin method. Some people say that there is a problem with the three-coin method because its probabilities differ from the more ancient yarrow stalk method. The two-coin method involves tossing one pair of coins twice. On the first toss, 2 heads give a value of 2 and everything else is a 3. On the second toss, each coin is valued separately to give a sum from 6 to 9 as above. This results in the same distribution of probabilities as for the yarrow stalk method. Jeanette says she agrees. Phil says, I've been counting stock all day and my brain is fried. So we have a simplified two-coin method. Yay! Anything for being simpler. So your modified version of the two-coin method improves on the original on several aspects. First, while maintaining the probabilities of the traditional yarrow stalk method, it simplifies outcomes such that they become intuitive at first sight, without the need of further calculation. That sounds better, doesn't it? Bear with. Wrong one. Excuse me while I just die. Right. I've lost my space. Space, place, over. Right. there we go. Second, it reduces the average number of coin throws per hexagram by 25%. Oh, Phil says evening, Ben.
Evening, buddy.
So if you heard that.
Yeah. Wiped out.
Yeah, Ben's half dead. So, yeah, it reduces the average number of coin throws per hexagram by 25% from 12 to 9. It does so by requiring to throw the coins a second time only if both coins land on the same face, either both heads or both tails, thus only in 50% of instances. Third, it is easy to memorise. I won't memorise. I'd be there with my notepad and pen, writing everything down that's coming through. I'm not memorising any of this. It clearly identifies heads with yang and tails with yin, and the greater share of heads, tails with old, yang and yin. The modified two-coin method involves tossing one pair of coins of different size or shape. The larger or heavier coin is assigned primacy and is reported here as first dominant outcome, while the outcome of the smaller one comes second. So if the coins land heads, tails, yang dominates and the outcome is yung yang, unchanging. There is no need to throw the coins again for the same line. If the coins land tails, heads, then yin dominates and the outcome is yung yin, unchanging. Again, no need to throw the coins again for the same line. Phil says, can we all have a beer party and have a go? Why not? That'd just be a disaster. It would. Oh, yeah. If the coins land both on heads, then the outcome is for sure yang, but one must throw again to verify if the yang is changing or unchanging, so old or young. In case the second throw yields at least one heads, either heads, 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 tails, or tails, heads, then the yang is changing. If both coins lands on tails at the second throw, then the yang is unchanging. He says it may make sense then. Oh dear. Quite a lot of things make more sense, don't they, after a drink? Right. It is considered simplified as it reduces the number of throws and calculations needed to correctly identify the outcome of each hexagram line, compared to any other method. While this has its advantages, some people consider the time required to build the hexagram as a fundamental aspect of I Ching divination, for its ceremonial as well as introspective purposes. This said, any other coin-based method can be considered similarly lacking on this regard when compared to the Aristotle method. Oh, what we've got? 100 ml alcohol does help. Charles is on. Hi, Lou and everyone. Hi, Charles. And Jeanette says we won't care after a few beers. Yeah. 4 coins.
Okay.
Ben. Oh. With tails assigned the value 0 and the heads the value 1, 4 coins tossed at once can be used to generate a 4-bit binary number. Okay, following. The rightmost coin indicating the first bit, the next coin to the first left indicating the next bit. The number 0000 is called the old. The next 3 numbers 0001, 0010, and 0011. The binary numbers whose decimal equivalents are 1, 2, and 3 respectively are called old yang, with a similar principle applied to the remaining 12 outcomes. This gives identical results to the Aristotle method. So there you go. If you want to go binary, go binary.
That's because Chinese alphabet is mainly based on a mathematical system.
Yeah.
Everything they do is based on mathematical systems.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard Ben then, but yeah, I did see this when I was researching about it, that China's like alphabet system is based on a like numerical binary system, and it kind of makes more sense for them. Obviously, when they're doing this, and they've been doing it for a very long time, and so it's makes sense to them. To us, we're just a bit lost and confused. 6 coins. 6 coins. 5 identical coins and 1 different can be thrown at once. The coin that lands closest to a line drawn on a table will make the first line of the hexagram, and so on. Heads for yang, tails for yin. The distinct coin is a moving line. Phil says, can we play take 2? Right. Only like a really short. Oh, I didn't show you a picture of coins, did I? You don't know what the coins look like, but I thought I'd print off one, and it printed out huge. So yeah, there's the coins. You can quite often get them, the 3 coins, with some red ribbon in between, like feng shui. But yeah, those are the traditional 3 coins. And yeah, so like I said, I'm going to put a video up on YouTube that I found that gives a really good example of using the arrow stalk method to do this form of divination. It's only a quick one tonight, guys. Like literally just like less than half an hour, because there's only so much I can talk about on it, and there's no point me trying to or buying all the equipment, buying like load of coins, buying arrow stalks, buying an actual book, and sitting here and trying to work it out, because that's just not going to happen. It's not going to end well, and you guys will all get bored and turn off, and I'll just be sitting here getting really confused, and I don't actually know how long it would take to do a proper reading of it. Although if/when eventually travel a bit further, maybe go to China, it'd be good to actually go and sit and have a reading done. Oh, what we got? Phil wants to play Snap. I had loads of them. One in Frog's Head. Snap says I have one in Frog's Head and some more in Chimes, etc. Yeah. So yeah. Anyone got any questions? Perhaps not on that subject, because trying to get my head around it. Yeah. So in 2 weeks' time, obviously I'm going to be doing another episode of Divination, and trying to decide, I might do it on automatic writing. I don't know about writing. I might do it on spirit boards. One or the other. I've not decided quite yet. But yeah, that'll be in 2 weeks' time. What else we got? Tomorrow we have got the main show. Interesting but very confusing. Yeah, there's only so much I could say about it, because if I went into it any more, then we'd probably just end up more of it is than anything. So I tried to make it as basic as possible, whilst I'm trying to obviously read about this all and try and pop it together. Yeah. I live or love anything Japanese or Chinese. Love and not live. Live it as well. Love it, live it. But yeah, does anyone have a preference what I do on the show in 2 weeks' time? But yeah, tomorrow we are having the main show, which will be 7 o'clock, live from the Haunted Museum Spirit Shop, Stoke-on-Trent, because after the show, we are doing a special presentation and talk to some lucky people who have managed to get tickets. So we're going to do a talk on demonology, and then we're going to do an investigation while we're there. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that very much. Yeah, just got to get through, going to work before, but hey ho. Yeah. And then what else we got? No investigation on Saturday night because don't know how wiped out, energy wise, will be from the Friday night. And me and Ben are actually going to hopefully have a date night because, I know we've been on a honeymoon, but since we got back, it's kind of like he's been off all week at work, and then we've been doing stuff at weekends. So we're actually going to do that. And then Sunday, it's the Occultology History and Science show. Yep, so Ben will either be talking about something he wants to talk about, or we'll be going back to the Occult Sciences book. Well, let's do this. And your holiday looked awesome. Yeah, it was. It was like a dream holiday. Yeah, seems like a long time ago though now. But yeah. Guys, pop it in the chat. What would you prefer me to do on the show in 2 weeks' time? Automatic writing or spirit boards? I might listen. I might just do what I want. Any ideas what you guys prefer? Might be able to make it a bit longer because when you're talking, you don't want to spend a whole hour just talk. Both. Not I'm on that, Kate. Automatic writing. So I got those. Well, Kate says both. We had one for automatic writing. Oh yeah, and Kate, we need to arrange when you're going to interview me as well, don't we? Because you did Damon a few weeks ago. So yeah, Kate's questions. Charles says spirit boards. Bill says spirit board. We'll see. See if any more come in. Yeah, Jeanette's not put anything yet. What are you thinking, Jeanette? Yeah, so certainly just happening on. I'll see if anyone puts any more comments up after the show. Kate says yes, I'm waiting, can't wait to interview you. No comment. That's going to be my answers. No comment. I can't say. Yeah, I'm wondering whatever you want to do. Yeah, so if people are watching back, pop a comment on if you've got preference or if you'd like me to in the future look at a different form of divination. Jeanette says different ways to use spirit boards. Phil says whatever you do, you guys are awesome. Oh, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Completely forgot. Yeah, if you watch back, put comments. But if I'm sure I was going to say something else. Can't actually remember. Oh, what was it? It's going to bug me now. It's going to bug me. What was I going to say? Can't be that important. It'll come back to me. Oh yeah. I was just going to say again. I will put up YouTube video. I will. Blindfold spirit board. Right, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. If anyone's out investigating, have a fantastic time. It's done well with the confusing divination. Yeah. It's hard enough trying to just read it out. But yeah, this is why. Right, I was going to do it before, but I wanted to have enough time to try and get my head around it so I could kind of, when I'm explaining it, feel like I know a little bit more about what I'm saying, it's not just words, I'm literally just saying words. But yeah, I want to get it actually done properly. I wonder if there's like any, I bet there is, probably not in the middle of the countryside, but I'm sure in one of the like cities, there's going to be like a Chinese person that does the I Ching divination, and that'll be really good. I might have a Google afterwards, go and see if I can find it. Ben's putting his different appendages up.
There is one person.
Oh, he says there is one person he knows. Oh, it's gonna get it done. Yeah. Kate says, thank you, super interesting. Phil says, have a great evening, guys. Love night to all. Wondering Willow, if I haven't done it for 8 years, I think I'd pay to go to China. Yeah. Right then. So yeah, again, thank you for joining me. I know it was a short one, short and confusing, but interesting nonetheless. Have a nice evening, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.